My take, the take is pretty simple. It's cybersecurity, we're not that special. So,
I agree. I think we take ourselves too seriously. Tell me more.
yeah, no, I think we have a huge identity crisis, and not like IAM identity, but so many people in this industry, especially those who like get into it thinking like we're going to be fighting baddies all the time, and you get all these security folks who think they're tier one special forces, spec ops kind of people dropping in and saving the day, and that's not our job.
Right,
At the end of
right.
the day, we're supposed to be quiet. Like, no, it should be just like kind of like IT. Only people should only care about it when it doesn't work. I'd say especially if you're not like, me being on the consulting services side of the house, yeah, the CISO is going to know who I am. But if you work in a SOC at what I would call a client, or you work in security and the CEO knows your name, that might not be a good thing.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that kind of plays into some of the challenges people have with relationship building in cyber because they take themselves too seriously and think that they're the star of the show. And something I always say are like most businesses are not in the business of security. They're in the business of something else. Like there's a reason why everybody there is paid, and it's not the cool new tool that you're thinking about buying. Like they just don't care. And that's why I think folks struggle. And you see it because you deal with executives all the time. In order to get people to invest and do the right thing, you have to speak in their terms. And too often we're coming with this mindset to your point of we're going to be fighting the bad guys all the time, blah blah blah. And it's like they don't want to hear about that. They don't want. And then I also think like there's this glamorization of the cyber field of like all of the things that you'll do on a daily basis, and a lot of it is not, it's not that like I enjoy what I do, but it's not like I'm not playing Call of Duty all day. Like it is
I'm an
nerdy.
expert at PowerPoint and presentation.
Right. Right. Like it's a lot of nerdy stuff, man. Like it's not like this, but I think that also plays into why we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously. Like I always tell people like they're like, "Man, that was a stressful day." I'm like, "Well, we didn't get shot at today. I'm sleeping at home. I'm not deployed. Like
Right.
I think I'm okay. Like, and I have like just a little bit different perspective, obviously, that some of us veterans do, but I think the more that you can take yourself a little bit less seriously, the more effective you'll be in your job as a cyber pro.
Yeah, and yeah, you're exactly right. And I see it too a lot of times, even up into higher echelon roles because you're the hot shot for a long time, you're the expert, and then we do a really crappy job. We promote the technical expert, and then they become a leader and don't teach them how to lead. So they just continue this mindset of like, I'm right, and this new tool is awesome and it's going to change our world, but you don't realize that it's only going to change like three people's world. And
Right.
you said it, the company's job is to make widgets and money, not there's I'm pretty sure, and I've said this in numerous presentations and speeches I've done, there is no company that goes to work every day whose goal is to spend as much money and do everything to secure themselves, and that's their goal, is just to be the most secure company on the planet.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's just not. Even our favorite cybersecurity behemoths are in the business of building software for people to use to help secure their environment. And they have to sell it at a reasonable price because those companies can't put their entire 100% budget on this stuff either. And I think that's the part that I think a lot of people struggle with when I hear people complaining about, I didn't get enough budget for this. To me, that's a sales problem. Like you're not selling well internally. And I think that's a skill that a lot of people, in consulting world, you have to learn that because every interaction is a sell. You're always presenting yourself as a better option for them to spend money on. But I think again, in security, folks, we think we're very special, so we don't think we have to sell. We don't think we have to like. It's like, oh no, you should want to do this because if you don't, you're gonna get hacked. And they're just like, all right, well maybe, but I'm not listening to you, dude.
Right.
Like,
I love the race car analogy. I've said this so many times, but we're the brakes, and we're the safety system on the car. The job, the business's job is to go really fast. And there's our prop like anybody who's a car nut, like even me, like I love cars, but I don't usually get too hyped up about the brakes. Like maybe a little bit. And if you think about it, you're like, well, if I can spend a little extra money on getting some more horsepower, some better tires or better handling, and I can cut back on the brake costs a little bit, I might want to do that because that's more advantageous to me. It's more exciting, right? And so, but we come at it from the mindset because we're the guys that make the brakes. And we're like, these are the greatest brakes in the world. You have to have these
Right.
brakes. Like, you don't want to crash, do you? It's like, well, there's a driver, there's a whole lot of other aspects, and we just think, oh, it's end all be all. It all comes down to us.
That's a great analogy. That's such a great analogy. I love that so much. You gotta just scream about that on LinkedIn. That's awesome because it makes so much sense. And I think if you think about it that way, it helps you understand that like, hey, the goal isn't to have this car have the best brakes in the world. Like
Right.
there's
It's to win a
we need
race.
right. The car needs to do a lot other things. Now the brakes are going to be very important, yes, and the driver wants it to work. Everybody wants the brakes to work, but you need to make them work, and you kind of need to make them work without a big fuss.
Hmm.
And like we have especially in this world of ego and social media, everybody wants a kudos and a pat on the back, but insecurity, you kind of like you said, you don't want to be known. You kind of want to be just a person that no one really knows about. No one knows what you do, but they just know it works because you've created those guardrails and allowed them to go really fast. It's part of why I'm passionate about the whole GRC engineering stuff and things because I think if you do it right, compliance becomes invisible. And it's just a
100%.
result of activities versus this thing. And then that gives people time back. And now it's like, wow, I didn't even realize we went from SOC 2 to ISO X, Y, and Z. And it's like, yeah, because all the stuff we've been collecting, we now use for this. And like it's all automated. But I think too often audits are not, GRC is not functioning in that manner. So it becomes the blocker and those brakes are being hit at the wrong time with the wrong people and causes people to leave organizations and stuff. And yeah, I think this is a good take. I think you might get some, we'll see, it depends on the day. I've learned with my cyber takes that if we're going to get some spicy people in the comments, because some cyber folks might feel that they're very special, but I think it's an important message to remember that like, hey man, like it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This is not a fun kind of like movie. This is this is a Mr. Robot. Like this is a
Right.
business.
Right. Yeah, I've had like because I get a lot of startups that'll come to me and want to show me their product. And they're like, well, we do this better than big brand name that. And I'm like, well, what is it you do? And it's like these three things. I'm like, okay, who needs that? I'm like, well, it's gonna say, I'm like, if I'm already on a platform that does, that has my SIM and my cloud and my endpoint and all this is here and it all works together, is it worth me interjecting this thing and making stuff harder and spending a little more money for these three blinkier lights that you have?
Right.
Like, and they don't always think in that perspective, right? They're like, well, it's better. Okay, maybe, but to who?
Right. And I think too, like a lot of times people are not even using all the features of the tools they have. So now you have 5 tools that you're using at 20% instead
Hmm.
of one tool that you're using at 100% of all the features that you're paying for anyways. And to your point, it's like I think we're going to enter into this era of consolidation with tools where
Oh
people
yeah.
are like, I mean, the cloud providers are just getting better and better. Like they're building
Yeah,
more of this stuff.
platform is where it's at now. It's going there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's going to be a good thing, honestly, because it's gonna take our focus away from we need the new shiny object to we just need the the thing that solves the problem. Like
Oh, and
that's
you
it.
can rely on your provider, your platform to just like continue to invest and like make it better. Like it may suck when it first comes out, but it'll eventually get
Right.
good. And I'll tell you
Right.
what, going back to your GRC thing, anybody in GRC, you want to make your C-suite happy, if they don't even know an audit's happening, if you just show up and go, hey, we redid our SOC 2, it's all done. We just recertified our ISO 27001, it's all done. Like, dude, they will love you. Like if they don't even
Man,
know it's happening.
I 100 like another take I 100% agree with because like I believe that it's possible. It's
Oh,
significantly possible. I don't think GRC professionals are getting into enough of the weeds and details of all the business functions to be able to do it. So they have to disrupt everybody. But it's like just go spend time outside of the audit, learning what's going on, build a relationship so you can get read access to the things you need. And if you understand everything, you should be able just to get I 100% agree. Like that, I don't think people realize like how successful you'll be if you did this. Like you will be a superstar. You'll be able to command what you want. Like they're gonna be like, you did what? How?
they will
Okay,
sing
whatever.
your praises from the
Man,
mountaintops.
you will be a legend. So yes, great advice right there. 100%. We need folks to do that. So yeah, I appreciate you joining, Will. This has been awesome.
Yeah, dude, always, anytime, AJ. It's good.